Well, hello, and today we're gonna cover an interesting topic. What's next for the market? Are we in the bull market mode or not? Just my thoughts. So that is why I'm gonna do just a quick disclaimer that this is just, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not advertising you to trade the way I trade, but just basically keep it in mind that you can do your own due diligence but follow me if you need to. Anyway, so here's what I discussed. Literally, I just took the slides from April 5th, what I did for my discussion of what could be next at the time. It was a good scenario. That was the literally right when the market dropped from the tariff announcement, I think that was the case. And then I projected, okay, we can go with a good scenario, we'll bibble down, we'll reverse, and we'll go up, and maybe by the end of the year or a little bit sooner than the end of the year, we'll climb out. That was the good scenario. Then I said, okay, not so good scenario where we'll go up a little bit, then down, up, down, until we find some kind of a bottom. Maybe that's kind of support. And we will reverse and then we'll continue go up, which will take a little bit longer. So that will be the bear market mode kind of scenario. And here's the recession type of scenario, which is even worse, right? So it would go down, a little bit up, down, maybe up a little bit with some hope, and then down again, a little bit up, down again, and maybe we'll continue going this fashion for some time, and it will take several years to climb out. So let's say instead of the bear market scenario where we'll go down maybe 25%, maybe 30%, this will go down to like 50%, like 2008 type of scenario. Lucky for us, that was not the case, but let's see. So that was the hopeful scenario where it's not as good as I was literally thinking, but at the time on April 5th, with my thoughts, I said, okay, maybe we'll just bibble down a little bit at the bottom, and then we'll continue to go up, right? We'll find our bottom. It will be very short correction bear market scenario, because remember, this was about 18% down at the time the market went down from that high. So it's not that it's not shallow. It's pretty deep as well. Okay, now here's where we are now as of July 8th. So you can see that we went probably more of a hopeful scenario, not hopeful, the best scenario, where we went down, and because of the suspension of tariffs and all that stuff that was going on at the time, we even had the biggest rally in 20 years or something like that. That spike up, that was that rally. But again, we went up and down a little bit over here, and then we just continue climbing and hit the new highs before the year end, even, right? We actually at the mid mark of the year, so which is nice. But are we in the bear market or no? Sorry, not even bear market. Are we in the bull market or not? Because again, a lot of people can say, okay, we went down, sharply reversed, and we're hitting new highs. Are we in the bull market yet? Should I be considering anything that I need to buy or not? Or are we out of the woods or not? Basically, that's the main question. So what could be next? If it's a bull market activated, we can have this type of scenario, right? So we can, I don't even have the graph to project, but basically we will maybe head a little bit down depending on whatever is discussed right now, that some more countries are charged tariffs right now, and it doesn't mean that the market will drop now like it did back on April 5th, because at the time it was a huge surprise. Now market already absorbed all those news, it absorbed those things in and discounted them, and that is why the market actually hit new highs, even though right now, as of yesterday, the countries started to get the tariffs, and they were not little. So 25% tariffs for quite a few countries. I forgot all of them, but basically quite a few countries got the notice yesterday, and they will go in effect of as of August 1st, as far as I remember. So market though didn't really budge that much. I mean, didn't drop the same way it did in April 5th, right? Because it already absorbed that information. It already knew that it was coming. It was no surprise. There was nothing unpredictable per se. It was quite predictable. Yes, it would have been much better if the tariffs were completely postponed, probably, but it doesn't mean that it was really bad at the time. Okay, so because of this, I think we might be activating the bull mode, but we will see. Obviously, I cannot really predict. So this is just my projection of what might happen next, but it doesn't mean that it will go that exact route, that exact up and down route. Okay, now let me see what I can see from the indirect indications. So one of my systems from the systematic trading part, which does everything by the rule, and this particular system has very specific rules to protect us when the market goes down. Okay, when that happens, as you can see, this is the 2008 scenario, or this is 2011 scenario, or even here 2020 or 2022. You can see the scenario where the market goes down. This red line is the market, and this the orange, whatever, the brownish line, it goes up in the spurts. But when the market is in a bull market mode, let's say 2017 was a pure bull market mode, this line drifts down, maybe goes sideways if you're lucky, but most of the time it drifts down. Right? It doesn't really make that much money when it is in the bull market mode. Same thing you can see over here. I will zoom in into this area, 2024 area. And let me see how I can get it. So here we go. I marked as areas number 1, 2, and 3 for discussion. So area number 1. This is the end of 2024. Okay. The red line is the market with its all ups and downs. The brown line is the same exact system. It doesn't make a lot of money, as you can see, compared to what the market does. But it's not the important part is we're just looking at the behavior. When the market was going up in the bull market mode, this system was going sideways, barely making any money. On top of it, it was actually starting to really fall over here, probably in the third quarter of 2024, right? But from around November time frame, even though the market is going up right here, behind the scene, a lot more stocks were already failing. That is why this thing started to pick up the curve. The curve started to tilt up. It started to tilt up, and that's an indication already that, oh, it's tilting up. It means that there is something going on with the market behind the scene. It's really not that doing all that well. It's more like a warning sign. It doesn't mean it's going to drop anytime soon. You don't know exact timing when it's going to do it, but there's a warning sign. Obviously, during that time, that was the probably November time frame. That was the elections, and then the promise of tariffs that they're coming up. This exhibited even more here, leading up to the April drop over here on closer to this section number 2, right? So as the market was kind of going, still making new highs over here, right? In reality, you can see that this system, the short system, as it shorts the stocks, was already started to make more and more and more money. Why was that the case? Because, as I said, this part is misleading. It's misleading because majority of the curve, the S&P 500, is driven by Magnificent 7 stocks. They are the heaviest, biggest stocks in the S&P 500 universe. And because of that, as they're climbing, the market is climbing because they are affecting the most. They're like gravity. They're the sun and the rest of the little stocks by association, more like planets. They follow whatever the sun does. So the Magnificent 7 basically drifts it all up. But all those little guys, they may be falling. And that is why the system catches those little guys, because it approaches it not only for the Magnificent 7, it approaches every single stock in S&P 500 to short them if they're primed to be short, to be in a short position. So that's what happens over here. That is why it started to make money while the stock market itself as a ETF, as the curve or as the index was going up. That's a very early indication that, there's a lot of breakage going on behind the scene. When the markets start to fall, in this case, it actually was making not as much money anymore, surprisingly, for this particular case, but it wasn't obviously losing money. And then, once the market reversed, that is why I highlighted the area number 2. This is where you can see a lot of behind the scene, those little stocks, those planets, they started to actually rally up. And as they rally up, the short, obviously, system is losing. It cannot really short the stocks and expect to win if something goes up and up and up every day. So that is why it started to sharply go down over here. That's another indication that, oh man, we are switching from the kind of recession type of scenario to more of an optimistic scenario, because there's a lot more stocks which are on a roll going up instead of going down, as it was happening here at the beginning of the year in 2025. Then another thing is, see how we're making new highs, but this thing started to tilt up a little bit or going sideways. So this is more of a caution indication. It reminds me of this end of 2024 year when the market is going up, but we're going sideways, maybe a little bit up. So that's the reason why I cannot really say right now that we are in a bull market mode or not, because by this indirect indication, if we're looking at the same type of scenario over here and projecting it over here, who knows? Maybe we are primed to drop, right? We don't know yet. So that's why I'm saying that it's possible, as a very good, hopeful scenario. We will just now bibble a little bit over here, find this support, and maybe we'll just continue on our merry way in actual bull market mode. Because in actual bull market mode, as you can see, this system doesn't really make that much money. So this could be the same scenario. It just can continue going sideways like this, with maybe a little bit of up, down motion, up and down motion, and until it actually starts to really fall down like this, which is an indication that, oh, something is rallying too fast, too soon, and most likely it's primed for some kind of a pullback, some kind of a correction coming up. So right now we're more of this part of this, hopefully, scenario, beginning of 2024. So hopefully we will go up. So these are my thoughts that I wanted to leave with you, and hopefully in a few months we will see where we will end up. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, write to info@tradingsystems.com, and on top of it, if you want to check out more of our stuff on systematic trading, not just about the market but systematic trading, there are 4 books to choose from, and you can find them on amazon.com. And please head to tradingsystems.com, check it out. There's a free materials, there are free courses over there you can register and get, and even in the description for this video you can find the free webinar, basically registration. So go ahead, leave a like, subscribe to our channel, and more information is coming. See you. Bye.